Alright, so in this problem, I have 9 to the power of x minus 1 is equal to 3 to the power of x. So obviously, I want to find the value of x here. So for my solution, I'm going to first start with writing my equation. So 9 to the power of x minus 1 is equal to 3 to the power of x. And now, I'm going to rewrite 9 here as 3 squared. So I have 3 squared to the power of x minus 1 is equal to 3 to the power of x. And the reason I did that was because now these two have the same bases. Both the bases are 3. So now it's going to be much easier to solve. Now, if I have something in the form a to the power of m to the power of n, this is equal to a to the power of m times n. So in this case, I have 3 to the power of 2 to the power of x minus 1. And we can think of 2 as m and x minus 1 as n. So this is going to be the same thing as 3 to the power of 2 times x minus 1, and which is equal to 3 to the power of x. Now, if I have something in the form a to the power of m is equal to a to the power of n, this means that m is equal to n. So in this case, 2 times x minus 1 is equal to x, meaning 2x minus 2 is equal to x, and x is equal to 2. So that is my answer. Alright, so in this problem, I have 2 to the power of y plus 2 to the power of y minus 1 is equal to 48. So obviously, I want to find the value of y here. So for my solution, I'm going to start by rewriting my equation. So I have 2 to the power of y plus 2 to the power of y minus 1 is equal to 48. Now, if I have something in the form a to the power of m plus n, this is equal to a to the power of m times a to the power of n. So in this case, I have 2 to the power of y plus negative 1. So this can equal 2 to the power of y times 2 to the power of negative 1. So now I have 2 to the power of y plus 2 to the power of y times 2 to the power of negative 1 is equal to 48. Now I'm going to factor out 2 to the power of y. So I have 2 to the power of y times 1 plus 2 to the power of negative 1 is equal to 48. And 2 to the power of negative 1, that's the same thing as 1 over 2 to the power of 1. And 2 to the power of 1 is simply equal to 2. Now 1 plus 1/2 is 3 over 2. So I have 2 to the power of y times 3 over 2 is equal to 48. Now we want to isolate 2 to the power of y. So to do that, we have to get rid of this 3 over 2. And to get rid of the 3 over 2, we have to divide both sides by 3 over 2 to cancel the multiplication. So then these two cancel out, and 48 divided by 3 over 2, that's the same thing as 48 times 2 over 3. And this is the same thing as 96 over 3. And 96 over 3 is equal to 32. So I have 2 to the power of y is equal to 32. Now 32 is the same thing as 2 to the power of 5. So I have 2 to the power of y is equal to 2 to the power of 5, meaning y equals 5. So now to check, 2 to the power of y plus 2 to the power of y minus 1 is equal to 48. So 2 to the power of 5, which is 32, plus 2 to the power of 4, which is 16, and 32 plus 16 is 48. So I have 48 is equal to 48, and this is right. Alright, so in this problem, I have a to the power of x minus 2 to the power of x over 2 to the power of x is equal to 15. So I obviously want to find the value of x here. So for my solution, I'm going to first start with a to the power of x minus 2 to the power of x over 2 to the power of x is equal to 15. And if I have something in the form a minus b over c, this is the same thing as a over c minus b over c. So this is a property of fractions. So for here, a to the power of x minus 2 to the power of x over 2 to the power of x, I can rewrite this as a to the power of x over 2 to the power of x minus 2 to the power of x over 2 to the power of x, which is equal to 15. Now obviously if we have one number over that same number, it's going to equal 1. So these two cancel out and I get a to the power of x over 2 to the power of x minus 1 is equal to 15. Now, I'm going to go ahead and add 1 on both sides because we want to get rid of this 1. So then these two cancel out and I get a to the power of x over 2 to the power of x is equal to 16. Now, if I have something in the form a to the power of m over b to the power of m, this is the same thing as a over b to the power of m. So in this case, I have a to the power of x over 2 to the power of x, and notice how both the exponents are the same. So I can rewrite this as a over 2 to the power of x is equal to 16. Now, a over 2, that's obviously 4, so we have 4 to the power of x is equal to 16, and 4 to the power of what equals 16? 2. So I get x is equal to 2. So now to check, my original equation was a to the power of x minus 2 to the power of x over 2 to the power of x is equal to 15. Since x equals 2, I have 64 minus 4 over 4 is equal to 15. 64 minus 4 is 60. 60 divided by 4 is 15. So I get 15 is equal to 15. This is right.